Alright, we've got a Play release Nintendo Direct on Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and it's very exciting. Couple of things I want to cover though. First of all is the new Switch. We've seen snippets of it in the past as leaks, and there was many rumours about whether it existed or not. Here it is. We know it exists. This looks gorgeous, and congratulations to Wood from Beat 'em Ups for already getting his hands on one, especially considering he only just completed purchasing all of the Switches that are licensed Switches, which was impressive in itself. But to get his hands on one, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes right now. I'm sure the Nintendo ninjas are tracking down how he got his hands on one so early. But yeah, he's the envy of half the world right now, I'm sure. But this thing looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, it's an OLED. A lot of people have spoken about the Nintendo Switch not being powerful enough. And I'd like to say that where they talk about having Switch 2, we've already got Switch 2. Switch 2 is the OLED model. Longer battery life, more power than the original Switch. Granted, it's not a lot more, but it's still more. And it has an OLED screen, which the original Switch didn't have. Now, where people say this isn't powerful enough, I think Nintendo have just shown that it is. I mean, you have a look at these graphics and tell me that that isn't absolutely gorgeous. The gameplay that we're watching is live captured gameplay, and it runs smooth. This just goes to prove that Game Freak, with their release of Pokemon that was full of bugs, were lazy. It wasn't the hardware's fault. It was the software developers' fault. They didn't build Pokemon to the level of the hardware. Nintendo have come out and they did it at the start with Breath of the Wild. It's the favourite game of so many people for the Nintendo Switch. And it's a massive game, open world game. It works so well. And here we are with Tears of the Kingdom, and look at this. Look at this scenery. Look at all of that. And it's running smooth. The hardware is not a problem. I don't think we actually do need a new Switch. I think the current Switch is fine and it's still got plenty of life in it. I think what the problem is that developers get lazy. And they develop for things like the PS5 because it's got heaps of power, and they develop to that power. And then they don't take the time to adjust their development to suit the hardware outside of that high-end model. This game is built for the Switch, and it is built very well and plays very well on the Switch. And I don't think people will have any problem with it. Game Freak and the Pokemon release that, is absolutely shocking with the bugs that are in it, should never have been released like that. They got lazy, or they were trying to meet a deadline and they just pushed it out. And they should have said, no, we're delaying, and fixed it and got it out properly. This, I think, we'll find is a lot smoother and a lot less buggy. And given that it's realistically another update, download content of Breath of the Wild, but it's massive, so it's not really download content. Using the same engine, same tricks that they learnt in the development of Breath of the Wild, absolutely, but it's massive as well. That's obvious. And then you add in this fuse capability to build things, to beat the environment, to explore the environment. This is just adding a whole new level of this game. This embraces all the speed running activity that was done in Breath of the Wild, where people would jump on a boulder, time freeze the boulder, smack it about a bit, jump on it, and use it to travel across the environment. This game has captured that entrepreneurial attitude of the players in developing different ways to play it outside of what was originally intended and turned it into part of the game. This is brilliance. This is intelligence. This is playing to their customer. And their customers are going to love it and thank Nintendo for it. Does Nintendo need to release a new Switch? Absolutely not. This thing works well and it's loved, and I'm a big fan of the OLED model. I've got a number of the consoles myself, and I've got a number of the OLED models, and I held off on getting the OLED model when it first came out. I waited for the special editions to start coming out, and when they did, I started collecting them. I don't have a plain OLED model, and I don't have a plain first version either, the non-OLED model. I've only got special editions because I love how they come out. And the ones that they've been bringing out on the OLED, I think have been fantastic. And this one it's the piece to resistance so far. It is absolutely gorgeous. And it's one that's on my wish list. I'd just like to take a moment to say that all those people that are saying the Switch isn't powerful enough, it's not the Switch that's not powerful enough. It's programmers, game development companies being lazy. If they develop to the hardware, they will develop a solution that is enjoyed by many, and they will sell product. I still love the 3DS, as do many more, as you will have seen by the number of people currently collecting for the 3DS that have been collecting like mad before the 3DS eShop and the Wii U eShop shut down. The 3DS has had so much coverage and people saying that they're still playing it. And it's been out for years, and I think the graphics in that still hold up today. And the Switch is more powerful than that. The Switch is a bigger screen, it's a better screen, it can be played docked like a console, and it is every bit as good as the 3DS, minus the 3D features, obviously, and the dual screen. But this is a console that has longevity. People right now are saying they need a new Switch, they need a Switch Pro. Well, we've already had the second edition Switch, the OLED model, and to me, it's awesome. I don't need a new Switch with more power. Games like this, Tears of the Kingdom, prove that. Whatever you do, whether you play, whether you collect, happy hunting.